Hello ladies and gents, I am Anodiffin, and welcome back to From the Depths Ashes of the Empire Community Edition. So, my vehicle's folder for today does seem to have quite a few designs in it. That is because we're actually going to be reutilising a couple of previous designs. So, we have a modified version of the Ashes of the Empire Lehman Russ Demolisher. This has a slightly higher gauge. I asked for this to be just slightly improved because I thought that the cram cannon was just that little bit smaller gauge and could be done a little bit larger. So it looks like that some of the side pieces here have now been replaced with gauge increases, making this that little bit more powerful, which is rather nice. So that'll be replacing the existing one we spawned in earlier. Also, Richard Dastley did inform me that there have been actually quite a number of changes between these two tanks. So I'm going to do a comparison. So let's just spawn both in. So yes, the original one didn't actually have any railgun component, and the shell is smaller gauge and also shorter. So shell length 3000, this one is 4000mm, so it's a much more significant round. So yes, they from the outset look fairly similar, but the internals have been completely altered. So let's just compare how they operate. No, I don't want to restart Designer. So we just send this one against Taipan. This is the first one. So it does significant damage with its shells there. And a nice, good speed. But nothing particularly special. Now over to the replacement, the Mark 12. Let's see how it performs here. So the faster round, it seems. And it seems to be, I think they're firing slightly faster. They definitely seem to be doing more damage, which is definitely a very good thing. They should. They're bigger round. Oh, missed there. Just skimmed off to the side of Taipan. But yes, good accuracy and good speed with those high gauge projectiles. Definitely a very nice improvement. Also, going to be utilising the Enforcer turret, and although it is a structure, it's going to be quite nice with the front line against the lightning hoods, though I have a feeling it can't aim. Yeah, aim straight. So that is going to be a bit of a problem because it can't actually elevate its weapon system. I'll spawn a couple in, but I don't think they're actually going to do anything for the Force. No. Except maybe act as a target. But yes, not being able to elevate that gun against lightning hoods, which is what I want to use it against, is probably not really going to do anything. But in a similar vein, we have the Turbo Laser by Alwiner. This is a really rather awesome turbo laser a la Star Wars. It has lamp systems at the side and also a couple of simple lasers as well, which is all very good. It has very nice aesthetic here, hiding the laser barrels within the larger turret there, which is awesome. It has a very big laser system, and it's around about 16k, similar to the one I'm utilising on mine, though the engine is a less efficient one. Well, let's send this against the Wisp. You see, fires 1Q laser. It's able to fire really rather nicely, doing a lot of damage in that 1Q setup, but it looks really good. And the smoke is very nice for keeping it protected. As the target's down here, it will absorb a lot of damage. And it's already AI dead. Excellent. One thing I'm concerned though is how tall it is compared to mine. So let's spawn within one of mine. Unfortunately, they are very similar in height. I could probably put this just behind it, and it might be okay, but even the slightest bit incorrect, and this will shoot down here, and this will obfuscate this. Nah, whatever, I'll put them behind. I'll actually have a few behind and a few of those other simple lasers in front. Yeah, they'll be fine. Let's just try it out, see how it works. Yep, it seems to work rather nicely. Excellent, I am definitely looking forward to utilising these, and I don't want you to attacking salvage. Yep, so they're going to make a really, really fast-paced destruction of the Lightning Hood forces. I'm very pleased to have them. So, going into the actual designs we'll be using in this episode, only going to be using 4 because of all the other things spawning in. So, to start with, we have the Hazard by Charcharodon. I know it had quite a lot of Charcharodon vehicles, but that's because I have so many of them, and unfortunately, unlike other builders, I can't actually afford to put them all in one go, just because of how ridiculously expensive they are, such as this thing. A lot of big missiles, and a load of cannons on the side. Does look like it's a single vehicle though. So let's go against the Taipan. Probably going to be a little bit overkill. Those are very, very long cruise type missiles. And a blast of shots there. So yeah, the missiles are still flying. And they're very big cruise missiles, so yeah. Not necessarily firing very quickly, but that is going to be incredibly strong, as those missiles will be able to keep going and firing at their target regardless of where it is. And those projectiles are just generally alright as a secondary, but those missiles are really rather potent. Next, we have the LG-1DC light tank by Tostov. So it has a railgun system in here. Rather nice looking gun. Disruptor head. That's nice. Acts as a inertial fuse, which is always rather cool, because it will always detonate on shields. And then it will hit against the hull doing that, so yeah. And it also does damage against the shield, so I quite like this as a concept. Very fast round. Quite a lot of Tostov's vehicles seem to have railguns, and they're really good. Never really used railguns too much myself. I have, mainly in the assist role, because I find they're rather block intensive for how powerful they seem to make a gun, but I'm definitely having to rethink my weapon system, seeing how effective these guns can be in Ashes. I think it's in Quest for Nita have a tendency to build much more spammy guns firing very high rates of fire. But this is just doing really rather nicely. There's a very small amount of EMP from the Disruptor head, but that's mainly for the shields. Main damage is definitely that explosive, which is doing rather admirably against the Taipan, having stripped off the majority of blocks, leaving just the heavy armor citadel in the centre there. So yeah, very nice in its good pace, and they're erratic enough to avoid a lot of strikes. Don't have too much shielding, but the shielding at the front there on the turret is basically double layering it, which is a really, really good method to use. Can be considered a little bit cheaty, but it is rather nice. And something like that isn't too bad. Having loads of spin block shields I do consider a bit more exploitive, but you can do it regardless without spin blocking shields. It just takes a lot more effort. Next, we have the PB01 Stake by Ohm is Futile. Fairly expensive looking design, but ooh, it's a spacecraft. Seems to be flying up. It's got ion engines. Ion engines aren't particularly common. due to their rather high cost. Altitude 300, I would have probably just used jets at this point. It's around about between 450 and 500 is where ions become more potent than their the ions become more powerful than the thrusters in terms of cost. It's well over that, but that's really rather effective though, being able to AI dead its target rather quickly. It does have a particle accelerator and those 4 guns. Yeah, there's the pack. Right in the middle underneath all those rather nice shield layers. It's rare for shields to be shown. I do quite like the fact that it's been done in this vehicle. My concern is that it seems to be made out of alloy, which is not really the most resilient material around. But it should hopefully make this a fairly low-profile target for the majority of the enemy. And the thrusters, I think they run quite cold, don't they? Yeah, they run cold compared to the other thrusters, which, yeah, so this should be a fairly low-profile target. Not too many weapons, and relatively low signatures, meaning everything else will get shot, letting this do the damage. Finally, of the new designs, we have the Reaver by Guns McLegend. An 8000 design. Rather neat little concept here. Fairly erratic flyer. And a lot of missiles, so let's see how this performs. Coming in towards Taipan, turns nicely, which is always very, very important for little flyers. And that's a good spread of missiles. A couple will go wild, but most do land on target and actually blow up the gun immediately. Bit of a fluky hit there, but still, being able to just pop the turrets in a single strike like that does mean that they are good strength. The AI is still just about functional, but the rest of the craft has been disabled. Looks like the AI cards was destroyed. Yes, the AI cards were destroyed, just leaving the AI itself. Yeah, EMP going through, probably causing a little bit of extra damage. It doesn't have much ammunition, which is definitely a concern for how many missiles it is armed with, but in a group scenario, that will be fine, since we'll have enough ammo in order to maintain combat for a significant length of time, which is all good. So yeah, it's very nice, and rather effective, but does seem to rely heavily on group combat, but that is fine, because it will be being deployed in the group. So let's head over and investigate how those forces are going to be doing. Where are my shields gone? Hang on, something's gone weird. There we go, everything's back. It's all these annoying shields, but it's still there. Let's jump over to this force momentarily. Now let's load in some of those other towers. Probably not too many, I think about 3 of the turbo lasers will do. And 4 of the little enforcer turrets. I think that's going to have to probably face off against this flayers group, which is a bit concerning. Speaking of vehicles, let us go to this force and spawn in new designs. I know everything is being basically added to this group, the first community. But that's because I want them to be able to take out the flayers. And spawning all these vehicles in has kind of hampered my resources quite significantly. Just spawned everything in there. Everything's getting blockaded now. Okay, that's a battle which has been enforced on me. And, it's this one, okay. Let's make sure all these are actually spawning at a decent height. Everything else should be spawning in correctly. And let us begin this battle. There's an absolutely insane lineup and kind of spawned very close to the flares, so this could be very painful, but at the same time, all my shots are going to hit them. So they're immediately launched into the air for some obscure reason and blasted immediately with the Raptures. Some heat shells burning straight through the holes there. I'm a bit concerned by these nuke drones. They haven't been shot and killed yet, and they are making a beeline towards the tanks. Oh, look at that. Shot just skims past it, missing in a minute moment. You've deployed your smoke against the LAMs there, not the LAMs, the laser guided shots. I think it's by your own vehicles. Nuke does detonate, flipping the tank over. But immediately the repair drone is nearby to repair it, but it is being flung again by another nuke, flying through the sky. As does... is that the Delta Plan? I think that, yes, the Delta Plan is also flung into the sky. Not as heavily damaged, but still pretty badly wounded. Three of Richard Dastardly's tanks are hugging to defeat the white flares here, and have seemed to have knocked off one of the blades, so it is sort of working. Delta Plan is just about operational, resting on the other anti-air vehicle. Shots being fired at such long distance, not anything's really having much chance to hit it. Looks like we may have lost a vehicle here, though. I think spawning it a bit too close to the nukes was the main problem, but should probably have given flares a bit of a wider berth. But thought if I was close enough, I would have been able to do enough damage to them that I just wouldn't have mattered, and for the most part that was correct, but those nukes just skim past. And Rapture's just being irritating. It's taking damage, just not anywhere critical. Come on, get the turret. There we go, its barrel is stripped off and it should be losing enough blocks in a moment, particularly as the missile's now skimming along and hitting it. Ah, you've got some bombers there. Here come the bombs. I think a little bit early, but they are coming towards you. And there we go, the bombs are hitting. Excellent, bombs strike, and it is now 2 damaged. As is the other vehicle. Brilliant, battle is finished. Well, so the game crashed during that battle. It was a shame, and hopefully saw some of it, or most of it, but yes, the battle was lost there. So, need to redo that, and also spawn everything back in again. So, let's go back to this force, and spawn in all the vehicles for use in this episode. Okay, so the vehicles in the first community force have all been added in again. But yes, let's actually spawn in the this laser emplacement force against the flares. So this force is ready. Let's begin this battle. All the laser emplacements are being added in, but just not the turbo lasers. Let's see how they perform against the flares, which they were not designed to face. But yeah, it looks like these lasers are fine against everything. So there's a couple of resources there, not done. And this time I'm not going to spawn everything in to this battle, because I think that was what caused the issue last time. But I still need to put everything to correct heights. And also, I am going to learn from my mistakes and not put everything right at the front. Ah, there's the Flying Doctor. I could not see you earlier, so sorry I did spawn you badly. The majority of stuff is spawning in, so it will make it run a little bit sooner. There go the nukes. No longer damaging my vehicles this time, though much more friendly fire, but the tank isn't being destroyed. Still shooting each other, but they're actually repairing each other rather rapidly. What on earth are you doing? You're not meant to be going up there. Well, I suppose you are running away from your own nukes, aren't you? Though you seem to be propelling yourself further up. Whatever. I think there's basically everything dead. AI dead. Oh no, there is still one spawn left. This is why not spawning everything in does make it take that little bit longer, because you have to wait for the one enemy to come back, to come in. A nuke strike there, almost completely killing this tank. Which one's this one? That's the heat shell tank. Thankfully, friendlies are nearby to keep everything repaired up, even if they themselves are pretty heavily damaged. Missiles do hit eventually. So tons and tons of tiny little fragments which ping off the aesthetics of the flares. And every now and then something big hits and knocks a load of blocks off. Remarkably robust, all these tanks from Rich Dustley. See that? It's been basically smashed to pieces, yet it is still not actually dead. They're operational down to about 80%, which is really rather nice. I think this one the AI might have been taken out of, but... Oh no, it's still focusing. Still aiming at its target, so yeah. It's still nicely operational. And the repair tentacles between the tanks just keep them all nicely repaired. Oh great, you're going to spawn right on top of me. And you immediately pop the turret, which is to be expected because of how you spawned. You though are being massively focused down. Your turret just gets completely smashed as the shell just passes through, popping it, and detonates it all. And you are 2 damaged. Brilliant, that happened rather quick. Everyone is ignoring salvage, aren't they? Yes. Nicely done. Battle is actually finished this time. Let's spawn in a radar balloon, and we're actually low on materials. So you have unleashed the combat force there, the 3rd community force facing off against the 1st army. Yes please, let us observe this battle. And I want to try and push forward and defeat the white flares. They are... I'd like to face the other factions. Been fighting the flares for so long now. That is a heck of a swarm of missiles. Good grief! It's like absolutely everything is exactly the same thing. Yeah, it's just a huge, huge swarm And stingers. Wow. Well, thankfully got a good number of high-speed weapons, like the Delta Plan and the other anti-aircraft tanks. Just do very nicely against this lot, as well as the ridiculous swarm of missiles, which has already disintegrated about half of the combat force. These two did have a little bit of a collision, but they seem to have shook most of the damage off already. My concern is the shots. I think it's from the Delta Plan. Just going through the sky, having potential to shoot my own aircraft. I just had to tempt fate, didn't I? It's crashed again. Yay. Right, so we're back here. Okay, I'll just speed right the way through these battles. Let's just go for it. And over back to this combat again. Nope. Save game. Let's just organise the altitudes of all these planes to start with, so that I remember before going into battle. Okay, so going into the full-side battle did seem to break with this force. I don't know if there's anything in this force which is causing the errors. I will be sending the bug reports, if I remember, to the devs. Guess what? It crashed again. Head over to this force and begin this battle. Let's begin and hope it all works for once. Oh, there's one enemy which didn't spawn in. I'm just going to try and spawn everything in. I know it kept on crashing, but it crashed when I did it at half the force, so there's something else at work causing the crashing, I think. Oh, the nuke hits and deletes most of the back corner of the high explosive tank there. That's the Mark 12. That's not doing too well. Hopefully it can get repaired by the repair copter, which is coming over towards it. But it does have other friendlies to sort out there as well. Tanks is getting eaten as well. Oh no! It's gonna get hit! He's got another nuke coming towards it! And it's gone. Yep, that's goodbye, high explosive tank. You did rather well. Your improvements did very well, but unfortunately, 2 nukes did not do you very nicely. Three Raptures, all running away. I'll just skip this bit in the battle, I think. At last, the battle was finished. That took a ridiculous length of time. It looks like we did lose a couple of vehicles, so we lost the Mark 12, 456 inertial HP, and also 226 bag, which may have died on glitchy terrain, but I don't actually know. The battle was over such a large area. I was jumping between areas over here, and over here of the three raptors as they split up across the landscape. So unfortunately, not everything survived that battle. And that's good. I've been doing rather too well in a lot of these battles, I feel. I would like to utilise this force, but you know what, I will. I will save the game and then use it. They're the new vehicles. I do want to use them this episode. I don't want to just hang on to them as another episode. So the first community force is coming to attack this 150 tile, though they are pretty injured, I must say. This is the third community. Third community move up and get refueled. You've taken quite a beating in that last battle. Okay, so the second exploration team is ready to go. Right, so this looks quite messy. There's a load of wreckers, like a lot of wreckers. So let's make sure everything new gets deployed at this battle. So the Reaver, the Stake, the Light Tank, the Hardzard, and Demolisher, the Wood Medic. Yeah, basically everything which was in the last episode will be spawning in this episode as well, which is nice. Let's go into battle. Only facing a few wreckers to start with. Let us observe how things go. So anyway, the missiles being fired are being shot down by the Wooden Medic. It's shot down 3, 4? Yeah, 4 missiles already. Excellent job. Waiting for Charadon's missile Hardzard, which is doing rather well. Its slow missiles being able to keep up with the very, very slow wreckers. So there we go, the missiles coming round again. Very large arcs, flying for a very long time. Mammoth tank being repaired by the repair drone, though I haven't got that much material, so it's going to be a bit of a problem. Ooh, and that was one of the bushwhackers being rammed to death by the wrecker. And the wrecker going after the mammoth tank as well. And normally going after flyers, but it has lost over its propulsion, so it's just grinding along the ground. Its rams maintaining its health while it just murders everything of my vehicles. This wrecker as well is knocked down. Looks like it's up to the Stake doing its work of flying around high, killing things with simple lasers, because simple lasers are ridiculously powerful. Essentially, they are basically one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful weapon under 500 meters. Oh no, the Red Un has crashed. Well, still left to come. Quite a lot of enemy forces still to be spawned in. That's on you, the bombardment terror. Yeah, you aren't going to survive this, are you? Yeah, I've just not got the materials to maintain the repairs this battle. Stake doing an incredible amount of job with those simple lasers. Height of 300 is pretty good for a lot of planes, but it's also perfect range for firing with its simple lasers, because when it's firing at 300 meters, and it's going to be very, very high elevation, which is pretty difficult to shoot at. Not many Ash vehicles are able to elevate their weapon systems that high and or be accurate that high. The Wrecker though going to Charchardon's tank and just churning through it, but thankfully it is struck and spin block is broken before it breaks off too much. It breaks off a ridiculous amount as it is. You're the TA2. Can't remember which you were. So the Reaver, where are you? Ah, there you are. Still flying around quite happily. Oh, hang on. Are you in a resource group? Yes, you are. Good. Just need to make sure that your missiles are firing properly. Increasing the battle just basically makes more of my stuff spawn in rather than more of the enemies, so that didn't really work. I don't want all of my stuff to spawn in, it would just cause it to crash again. Leaves this last vehicle to be annihilated, and I've lost a few vehicles this battle. The battle is finished. What did we lose? We lost one of the bushwhackers and the Red Un. Move that over to there to refuel them. I think that's going to be it for this episode, so hopefully I've still got a decent amount of footage despite all the crashing. But thank you very much for watching this episode of From the Depths Ashes of the Empire Community Edition. If you did enjoy the episode, please leave a like and or comment below, as it is always great to hear from you lot. Also, be sure to check out the rest of my channel for more From the Depths videos and other games. And be sure to check out my Discord as well, both links in the description. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching this episode, and I shall see you next time. But until then, I'm out. Goodbye!